So is Maeze Gabriel?
Not really, but you see, for each story that is given, for every fiction, there is element of the person that is captured in the story. This is me telling the story, so I tell the story or the experiences that are around me.
A lot of other experiences.
Experience myself and maybe somebody very close to me. But in order to make a stretch story, I just use Maeze. But it's a collection of different stories that you try to produce along the line so that somebody can capture it. And it makes a whole meaning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Maeze had a friend called Ife.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
If he had a wife,
that's right,
who dreamt of America being close to heaven? I mean, the next, the country you get to first before you now get to heaven.
That's
now,
right.
She gets there, and then reality hits her.
That's right.
And all sorts of wahala starts.
That's right.
Okay, that's page, let me read from here, page, so here. Now, let's read a bit of this story. Maybe it can help to throw a bit more light on what you're talking about. How do we do it? Should I read? No, let's read together.
Okay.
Okay, you start reading. I'll pick it up from somewhere, and then you pick it up from somewhere.
Okay.
If his wife found
on arrival in America that he was struggling with 2 jobs. That is, if he was struggling with 2 jobs to continue to defray a huge debt burden. He had lost his credit worthiness and was faced with bills on his little monthly income. Their apartment was in a deprived neighborhood. When she arrived, she had liked the house and the euphoria of living in U.S. did not let her realize how downtrodden they were.
People don't know that you can be downtrodden in America.
Yeah, people don't say that.
A lot of young people.
And you know, everywhere looks like they have all the amenities, electricity, the roads are there, but it's not the same. Over time, you begin to find the differences. These are the neighborhoods for those in lower class and those in a high-brow areas. Some places, accessing those places are not even, you could go anywhere, but it's not as easy as you may think that you have arrived in a beautiful place, but later on you discover that this is a place that criminals and those that are not, some people tell you, don't ever cross this area. So shootings go on.
So she was shell-shocked.
Yes.
When she saw all these things as a young Nigerian woman.
Yes.
Okay, go on.
After all, everywhere looked beautiful with all the amenities of water and electricity. As years went by, she had 2 girls in quick succession, passed her nurse certification examination, and began to regret rejecting some wealthy suitors who had sought her before if it came in from America. Her work as a nurse earned her far more than her husband's combined earnings in the 2 jobs he was doing. She had come to terms with the reality of working and raising her daughters all by herself and of operating a joint account with her husband. The husband's bank account was subject to regular, huge, mandatory loan repayment deductions. She did not envisage the deductions. The husband had filed for change of immigration status as married dependent relative, and they needed the evidence of a joint bank account to show they both lived together. Immigration and Naturalization Service needed the evidence to justify the approval of the application. Efe, like most Nigerians living in America, had hoped that after sponsoring his wife through nursing certification program and with the added income, he would be in a position to repay his longer-standing loans.
Which is a major reality.
That's correct.
Over there.
That's exactly what happens.
You can't escape those bills.
No, you can't. There's no way.
She had no idea this was life over there.
Yes. But because the euphoria of living in America blinded her, and she just took that proposal from Efe. And there she was. She was now working to defray all the alimonies that were already to be deducted from Efe's income.
Okay, let me jump down. Let me jump down because of time.
Okay.
Efe's former wife was disappointed by the time she understood the true life of America. Not long after her arrival, she began to interact with neighbors. When Ife left for work, she mixed freely with the men around the apartment complex, just as was done in Africa. And then, of course, she got
entangled
her head turned around.
That's
and,
right.
And
if you got to know about it, set up some wiretap.
So that's a typical illustration in your book.
That's right.
The reality, how the reality hits a number of characters.
That's right.
When they go to overseas.
That's right.
And then, we don't have time. There's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about.
But I like the basic theme of your book.
Thank you.
When young Nigerians leave the country and travel overseas, they have all these false expectations.
That's right.
And then reality dawns. We've heard about young Nigerians dying in Libya.
That's right.
In prisons all over the world.
Yes.
And so on. So I think your book is very relevant.
Thank you.
And apart from the relevance of the theme, the way you crafted the story, the plots, is really entertaining.
Yeah, we try to spice the book. Stories, Nigerians, if you want to hide any information, you put it in a book. They don't read. And when they look at the name, Gabriel C. Onyekuru is a Nigerian, they drop that. They were looking for foreign authors. But, so you want to spice it with some stories that will engage them so that they will at least get the message you're trying to pass through the book.
Yeah. You'll be surprised. We are changing. We are reading now.
We believe that. We're optimistic.
Thank you very much for joining us on Channels Book Club.
I appreciate you.
It's a pleasure having you here.
It's my pleasure too.
Thank you.